Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Inkarnate to make 2D maps, completely your own world, and then also how you can turn those 2D maps into a 3D model of a world using PlanetMaker. So let's begin. First thing I'm just going to show you quickly is PlanetMaker. So we'll end up with our own version of a world just like Earth here. PlanetMaker is really cool. You can actually switch the view from Earth to Mars, Mercury. Let's have a look at what Mercury looks like while that's loading up. There we go. Pretty cool. So first things we're going to need to do is go to Inkarnate, which is there. I've already created an account here, so I'm just going to go ahead and log straight in. Here are the worlds I created earlier. I'm going to create a new one. And in a moment, all the tools will pop up down the side here. So we've got our trowel tool, which I'm going to use first. And that's going to build the Earth. There we go. I'm just going to have sort of a basic landmass here. Let's have another thing up here. And let's have something else here, little island at the top up there as well. I'm going to change the size of the brush. In fact, I'm going to make it even smaller, just so I can add like perhaps a bit more detail to the edging. So it looks a little bit more rough, perhaps a little bit more like a real landmass. Let's just do that one really roughly. Okay. And you get the idea. I won't do any more than that. Okay, next thing I want to do is I'm just going to change the color of some of the land. So clicking on the paintbrush, I can click on the land itself, choose a grass color. You notice there that Inkarnate kind of blends it all, so it looks okay. And if you go over into the ocean, it doesn't color the ocean, which is good. I can change the size of the brush there as well. I'm going to have, for the northernmost parts, let's have some snow up in the north parts there. That's kind of cool. And let's have some right on the southern tips too. Awesome. Now I'm going to go to this one here. And I'm going to select... I'm going to place, I'm going to go to pattern, and I'm going to put in some mountains. Now I'm going to choose to make these mountains as small as possible, for the reason being, whoops, didn't want to put that there. The reason I want to make these mountains as small as possible is so that my world ends up looking as large as possible. Bigger mountains obviously means smaller world. Let's put that mountain line there. Let's have a couple on this island here. And I might have a couple of bigger mountains just on this island. This strange one up there. Perfect. And now let's add in some other things. Let's go to patterns again. We've got some hills. Make sure the hills are really small. Let's have some hills around here, just to kind of bring it to life a bit, give it some texture and shape. Same on this one, and here we go, a bit more there, a bit more there. Not worrying too much about the details. You might take a bit more care than me. I'm going to put some trees in, same deal, just slap them everywhere. There we go, starting to look quite good. I'm going to leave some space at the bottom for the towns, which I'm going to put in a minute. Oops, let's have some trees there. And some dead trees up in the north there. Perfect. There's a few more there. Okay, I'm going to put in some towns now. So I'm going to click on this castle object here. And it gives me all of these choices of things that I can include. I'm going to choose a capital. And let's put the capital on the coast there. Let's choose another one. Let's choose the citadel. I'm going to choose the citadel. It's going to be in the snowy regions in the south. And I'm going to choose an orc town. That sounds pretty cool. Let's put an orc town up on this little island there, and on this other island let's put a tower. Okay, so these might be the basic locations for a story, or or they could be opposites, political factions. You could have all sorts of things going on here. I'm going to add a bit of text onto this as well, just to bring it to life. Let's call this capital. Let's just change the font and font size, make it a bit smaller. And let's call this capital big town, big city. And let's have our tower over here, the Tower of Doom. Just going to move that so you can see it. And the orc town up here is going to be Northern and Chile. Perhaps you might come up with better names than me. And then let's call this one South Side. You can also add all other sorts of things in there as well. Like we can have labels for places, so I could label a mountain. So let's call this Mount Scary. And I think if I just, there you go, Mount Scary is that. All right. You can put on more things if you want, but I think I'll leave it at that. So the next thing I'm going to do is just save it quickly. And then I'll download it. There we go, download. And it's going to put that, there it is. There's my downloads, perfect. So now I'm going to go to PlanetMaker. Okay, so here's my planet, Mercury at the moment, and I'm going to switch that to the planet that I've created. So the first thing I want to do is come to the side here, and it says set custom texture, and that's exactly what I want to do. And I want to choose a file, and I want to choose the map that I've just created. There we go. So this is all the files that I've uploaded. I've only uploaded one, and these are the places where I can put that map. So I want to drag that map over here to where it says surface, and that's going to change the surface of my 3D world. I've also got these other things here which just sort of change the texture of the planet. I can play around with the normals. Let's experiment a little bit. Let's put the height of it is going to go, I don't know, let's put this one in on a bump map. Not completely sure what that's going to do. Let's find out. Specular, let's put that one, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to leave background because that's just the stars. So nothing's happened at the moment because we now have to change the choice from Mercury down to the bottom here where it says custom. And there we go. There's our map. Now, at the moment, we've got, if I change the sunlight direction, I can sort of pan the sun around my world, which looks kind of cool. You can also see those textures really nicely now and there as well. We've got some ridges and dips and things, which makes it look awesome. If I want to change the sun so that it's always visible, no matter if I turn it around, there's no dark side of the planet. If I want to do that, I need to come up to the top here where it says lighting type and just change that to point. And the first thing, it's going to completely take the sun out altogether. And then I just need to come down to where it says surface and emissive light, which is like the light coming from the planet itself, I guess. The light that it's emitting, and just turn that up. And there's my 3D world. I've got all these other options that I can play around with as well. Ambient light can kind of soften things up a little bit. Just experiment really and just see what looks good. I can change the elevation scale. I can kind of warp it a little bit if I want to. I've got city lights. I don't know that that's going to do anything. Oh no, it does. It sort of glows it a little, which is kind of cool. You can add clouds in, and thickness of those clouds. So yeah, we can have a thicker cloud set. Casting shadows if we want. All of that stuff makes it look more realistic. I can also come over to the right side here, and I can give it an atmosphere. So let's have a bit more of a dense atmosphere and a bit thicker, so it gives it that kind of a cool glow effect. We can put a ring around it if we want. So if I really wanted to, I could do that. I can change the background so that I make sure I've got lots of stars, star strength, so it's a bit more visible. What can we change it to? Oh, we can really change the background to a different type. Kind of cool. If I go to effects, again, there's just some things to play around with if you want to. Moons is kind of cool, so you can create a moon for your world. There it is. If I zoom out, you'll see it better. There we go. And I believe I can add more moons if I want to as well. So there we go. How to create a 2D map and then a 3D version of that world. Finally, if I just want to take a screenshot of it, I can press the letter P on my keyboard, and that makes a JPEG or a PNG of that particular picture. I can just right click, save image as, and then do whatever I like with that picture. That's it.